Namaste, assalamu alaikum, shalom. Buenos dias, buenas tardes, Isiche, Aquaba, welcome. What up, though? This is Cafe Melange, week numero 3, session numero uno, a wee bit after schedule. So, for today, I consider a number of things. One, I consider just being quiet, just being silent, and sharing some silence. Maybe not today. Then I think about sharing some thoughts recently within recent days about experiences and additionally, but I think I'm saving that for the spiel for our discussion group mañana, God willing. And then so I am provided with the bright idea of sharing a reading from this joint. This is a compilation of first-person testimonials, question and answer, kind of joint interviews of Mélanger brethren, mostly young people, or all young people, but not as young today because this was done about 20 years ago. If that is visible. So, it's part of the legacy though. Now we're building a collective history, a collective legacy, a collective frame of reference. So, we've got a lot of narratives, a lot of interviews. Here's the author. And then there are a number of stories that are shared through this joint. I am sharing uno for today. I gotta look for it. So, to be honest, it's actually the interview of a young sister who is mixed. Fairly noisy today. The reason why I share it first is because she's from the Heights, where I am sitting at the moment. Well, in the vicinity of where I'm sitting at the moment. I've yet to ever meet her that I know of in life directly. However, this is part of the continuity. The table of contents is listed by name, and her name escapes me at the moment. I just know that she's listed in here from the Heights. How you doing, bud? Same as always?
Always.
All right, love and peace to you. Love and peace. Hey, we got patience. Some of us. Ha ha ha. I'm reminded of a humorous anecdote. I was watching a football video on YouTube yesterday and didn't have a lot of time. I saw the title of it, so I said, oh, it sounds interesting. So I'll look at it, and they have lists of on different categories of football. So this one was basically the best footballer from every nation. So there's hundreds of nations, at least 200, and so the video is over an hour and a half long. So I wasn't trying to watch the whole thing, but so I figured, well, I might as well know who they talk about from the United States. Shalom. And so I fast forward to that section, and it's very windy today. The YouTube presenter is British, and British have a way of being humorous, cheeky even, and so the coyote is about. Let's see if you can see that. I don't know if you can see that, but the coyote is there. I don't know if that was visible, but it's only there for a second. So anyways, I'm trying to set up a sound guard for the wind. But the presenter, British have a way of being cheeky, in an understated way, but very, very starkly. So anyways, again, the video was by region and then alphabetical order within each region. So, buenos tardes. So it was by region and then by alphabetical category within each region. So I fast forwarded basically to about the 1 hour and 10 mark, and then indeed I'm able to find the U.S. And so as a way of introducing the U.S., he does an introduction to each nation, and he gives like a specific comment for each nation based upon like what the nation is known for, or whatever else like that. And so at the beginning of his introduction for the United States, he basically says, and now we're to the United States. And for our brothers in the United States, I must make apologies that you had to wait so long for your inclusion in this list, except for those who skip all the way to this. And if that's the case, you're the worst people of the world. So anyways, I found that humorous. And he didn't necessarily say the worst people. He said, you're the worst of all, or the worst creation of all. It was very absolute, and that was what made it very humorous. And even if we were to take it at its word, then that might have been the case very momentarily for a millisecond, but now we are restored. So that being stated, we continue on. Here's where we're looking for Amanda Holzhauer. So again, I've read this book. It's been a number of years since I read this book or any of the entries. So to be honest, I'm uncertain it's difficult for me to say what is actually included in these words. But I'm just going to read it as in the spirit of the intrinsic legitimacy that it has. So I'll just do that. Amanda Holzhauer, 16. Cleveland Heights, Ohio. Her Moor is of African American ancestry, and her Far is of European American, Deutsch, and Swiss ancestry. And these are her words. I was in the chemistry room one day putting my books down, and two African American girls walked in. They were talking about interracial marriage, how they wouldn't support the idea. They wouldn't want anyone in their family to get into an interracial marriage. I got up and followed them down the hallway listening to their discussion, and I said, you know what? I truly don't have a problem with interracial marriage, because if my parents did, I wouldn't be here. And they turned and looked at me, and one of them said, oh, my God, Amanda, I forgot you were mixed. but that's okay because you're not truly white, you're black. I'm like, okay. And then I mentioned the name of another mixed girl at the school, and I said, what do you consider her? And they said, oh, she's white. I don't know how they make these distinctions. Maybe it's the way you act, or maybe it's just the way they want to think of you. If they like you, you're what they are. If they don't, you're what they're not. Like if someone's mad at me, they'll give me a derogatory name based on the part of me that's not like them. I was hanging out with some African American kids, and one of them got mad at me and said, "You white whore," instead of just saying whore. She decided to say white whore. If I'm hanging out with white people, they sometimes call me black bitch. They go back and forth depending on what they like or whether they like you or not. One instant, one instance sticks in my mind. For Catholic Schools Week, we had a door decorating contest at my school. So after school, some of us were working on the classroom door. An African American boy walked in and he said, "So Amanda, what do you consider yourself?" "I'm American." No, I mean black or white." "I'm American." "No, which one? One or the other?" "You're obviously not getting the point." And one of the African American girls who walked in with him told him to shut up because he had no clue what he was talking about. He gave her a nasty look and walked out of the room. I was upset that he was that I was upset that he had to be so blind, but it made me feel beneficial that the girls seemed to catch on to the idea. It's so incredibly annoying that people can't get past racial lines. When it happens, I think, great, here's another one of those people who is not going to be able to understand anything about me. People tend to want to label me one or the other. To make me say I'm one or the other is like making me deny one of my parents and a part of myself. It's like making me deny what I am, because I'm not white and I'm not black. I'm both. My parents raised me to be proud of both cultures. My dad used to talk about his German Deutsch blood. He's always proud of that. And my mom is proud of her African American heritage. And my dad tries to make me appreciate my African American culture, and my mom my German culture. I try not to let what other people think of me define me. I refuse to limit myself in the way they want me to. People feel safe when there are definite little borderlines. People like to find common links with other people and cling to them. It makes them feel safe to feel similar so they don't have to worry about being alone. But I've never fit into any category that people have tried to shove me into. There should be no groups in my mind. Just get rid of them. I've never fit into any category. So that's the joint for today. And in order to maintain the reputation of having unnecessarily lengthy posts, I am going to do a moment of quiet for a couple minutes until this is over. 15 minutes. How about that? And actually, interestingly enough, I don't know if it can be posted because YouTube used to have a restriction that a new account can't have a post over 15 minutes or something like that. We'll test it out because we've already done a recording, so it should be okay. I think we bought it. Namaste, assalamu alaikum, shalom. Zaijian, adios, stay safe, sasape na asamugo, kill it with Fred. One love and peace. Crazy,